UFC Mexico City. This is the weigh-in recap show, full card predictions, and the betting breakdown. I'm looking forward to talking about each of the matchups on this card after seeing the fighters on the scales. So make sure you guys smash the like button. If you're new, subscribe. Turn the post notifications on. Make sure you share the video too. And also note, I'm going to be live for the entire card Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Don't miss the fight companion. Let's get into the first fight on it. We got Austin Hubbard versus Markel Mederos. I've been picking Markel Mederos to win, and I feel pretty confident that he pulls through. Cleaner striking style, definitely more technically proficient. Also, I'm not really worried about the gas tank because he trains at elevation. Hubbard used to train at elevation, but not anymore. He's at Valley Flow striking. He's not elevation fight team anymore. But Markel Mederos' kickboxing, I'd say, is pretty crafty. Good leg kicks, good accuracy on his strikes. Hubbard's going to be at a speed disadvantage. He's definitely got durability. Like, you got to put respect on Hubbard's name because of the chin, right? Because of the toughness and the grit factor. He definitely brings the thunder for all 3 rounds, and expect him to keep coming hard, even in Mexico City after a hard 2. But I think Markel Mederos is just too skillful. And I think Mederos is able to land cleaner and more significant shots throughout the majority of the fight. He does have knockout ability, but Hubbard never been KO'd. I'm going to say that the chin does probably hold up. And I'm feeling Markel Mederos by a decision as a pretty damn good pick. I think there's a real good chance that he pulls through. Now, I want to look at the scales between these two. We're bringing up some HD images of the scales. We got Austin Hubbard. He's got that smush nose built like a savage. You look at him from the side, it's deceptive, right? Not really much cauliflower ear. You wouldn't think he's fighting. Then you look at him straight on and you're like, holy fuck. It's like you just saw a ghost, man. The nose is flat right in front of you. You got a 2D nose, man. Respect to him. You know the dude's taking some shots. And that chin holds up. That crooked nose doesn't matter. It is interesting, man, the different biceps he's got. Left bicep is jacked. Right bicep non-existent. That's actually quite strange. Now, let's keep scrolling down. Let's find Markel. Young up-and-comer Markel Mederos looks in good shape on the scale. Really no major notes. Both guys look ready to rock and roll as far as the actual weigh-in. And both guys are on weight, which is always a good thing. Now, the face-off between the two, you see, in a second you'll see, there is an ever so slight edge towards the side of Austin Hubbard in the height, probably about a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. Not much of a difference maker. He is at a little reach disadvantage as Markel Mederos, but Austin Hubbard, not really like a tactical boxer, more of a pressure-based striking style. He's looking to close distance and land big combinations on the inside, whereas Mederos is probably better from the outside, regardless of the range. I'd say even definitely better on the outside, probably is like giving him not enough credit. With Hubbard, I expect like that gritty pressure style, trying to turn this into more of a brawl. I think Mederos will be too skillful and too clean with the stand-up. He's a talented striker, man. He's got a good feint game as well, which I like. I think that will, set up shots for him. Good boxing combinations. Hubbard is a lot more basic with just more that dog tough pressure style. And I think that's not enough to beat a skillful guy with good leg kicks like most of the Factory X guys have. And yeah, we're going Markel Mederos to win. As far as the betting lines of the fight, -156 for Markel Mederos. So the line is looking pretty nice. Opened up at -150, but it was upwards of -220, -190. So some love on Hubbard as an underdog. I'm favoring Markel Mederos' tactical game by a relatively high margin. I feel pretty confident in Mederos winning. So -156 for Mederos. I think there's a damn good chance that it happens. I also think there's a damn good chance this fight goes over 2.5 rounds, which sits in that -310 region. And then looking towards Mederos decision +110. KO is big money +550. Got that nice knockout on Contender Series with the knee. But that guy, Isakov was his name, I believe. Let me double check. I think so. Yeah, not near the level of a veteran like Austin Hubbard. I'll say Hubbard's legendary chin holds up, but he gets pieced up. We're going Markel Mederos. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, we have Jamall Emmers versus Gabriel Miranda. I'm picking Gabriel Miranda. I do not agree with these odds whatsoever. I think this is much more of a competitive fight. I think Miranda has a very tricky jiu-jitsu game. When you really dig into Jamall's UFC record, I mean, most of his most impressive performances are close losses. And the guys he's also lost to in, more violent fashion have a bit of that wild factor. Pat Sabatini is an absolute nightmare grappler, right? Nate Landwehr, dog tough brawler. Gabriel Miranda, awkward striking, not great on the feet by any means. Jamall Emmers will have better hands, certainly. But Miranda's better, I think, at grappling. Regardless, people tell me, oh, well, Jamall Emmers has a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Listen, all jiu-jitsu black belts is not the same. Okay, just because you have a black belt doesn't mean this black belt's not going to show you levels. Gabriel Miranda also is like a 3rd-degree black belt, which is crazy. I feel like the awkwardness and the chaos of Gabriel Miranda will come through in this one. I see Jamall Emmers selling. I think Miranda somehow takes his back and chokes him out, or maybe catches him in a gilly. Some type of submission win for Miranda early in the fight is what I'm seeing here. Emmers' hands are good, but, you know, it's just never... I know he knocked out Bazooka, and that was impressive, but, right, it's a prospect, right? He beat Askabov, completely unproven prospect. And then, you know, you see the other fights losing to Landwehr. But the Jack Jenkins split decision is impressive, but Jenkins doesn't have the grappling of Miranda. Jack Jenkins doesn't have the ground skills that Miranda has. He's a cleaner striker, but it's a whole different style. And to be fair, that was, you know, a while back, a year and 9 months ago, not super long. Jamall been out for a year, 6 months for Gabriel Miranda. I think he comes through. Miranda's also fought previously at lightweight. He gave BSD a little trouble early, but he got 10-8'd after getting fucked up. I don't know. I guess I just think Miranda has that weird submission threat, which I see coming to fruition here. It's one of those type of matchups. We'll try to find him on the scale and look and get a little comparison. Let's see where Miranda's at. I was thinking Miranda was right here. No, that is a different fighter. That is Simón Oliveira. That's another wild man on this card. I'm scrolling through, man. Normally we bring up MMA Junkie, but they were not HD enough quality picks, man. I need the quality for the people. I want to be able to get a view from straight on, not some like halfway side pick. Jamall Emmers, totally different look. To be honest with you, if I bumped into Jamall Emmers with this look, I would not know it's him. Whole different aura, whole different look. Got the piercings in and all. Got that septum in and everything. That septum, I believe, is in there, right? Yeah, I'm not delusional. He's got the septum. Bad luck on the septum's piercings, dog. We saw it with Peyton Talbot. He got out-grappled by a Brazilian. Brazilians don't like septum piercings, dog. The OG Brazilian dudes, you know, they're very strong in that old-school faith. They see that as zesty. They coming for your neck if you do such a thing. So I'm going with Miranda to win by sub. There he is with the fucking legendary mustache. What a gangster he is. The handlebar. To be honest, this mustache is only in style if you're a cage fighter, or maybe if you're a pro boxer or pro jiu-jitsu, pro combat athlete, or even pro athlete in general. You just see a regular guy with this stash, I'm probably staying about 30 feet back. You know what I'm saying? It's like a do not approach type fucking mark. There's the face off. I think Miranda looks great. I don't know. Jamall Emmers, I feel like his head's not in the game. I think he's getting submitted in the first round. I'm going Miranda to win. I'm surprised that the odds are this wide. On what planet should Jamall Emmers be a 5-1 favorite? He's 3-4 in the UFC. On the opposite side, Miranda 1-2 in the UFC. Not a minus 500 tag, if you ask me. Plus 375 for Miranda. Holy shit, that's wide. I think Miranda's coming through for us, man. I think he's a good underdog. Yeah, probably fight ends inside distance at minus 260. On the side of Miranda to win by sub. Plus 500 for Miranda by sub. Miranda by sub in round 1, though. What's that? Still D-Gen territory. Plus 1,200 Miranda first round sub. Huh. Miranda first round submission. That sounds pretty good to me, man. I think he's live for it. Of course, it's a D-Gen play, but still, savage possibility. And I think that Miranda is a live underdog. I'm not overlooking him. I think the striking is awkward, and he's definitely not super clean, but still can mix up the hands all right. Emmers, you know, offensively pretty sound, but at times falls apart and gets caught with big shots. As far as the jiu-jitsu, I think Miranda brings a much more legit submission threat. And I'm going to say Miranda surprises Jamall Emmers and submits him in round number 1. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, we got Rafa García versus Vinc Pichel. This should be pretty clear down the center, Rafa. Right? Unanimous decision. I've been picking him all week. I think that he lands better shots on the feet, maybe mixes in some takedowns. I say he takes a unanimous decision. Pichel's an OG. Maybe 6 years ago, we're talking about something different, but it's a 42-year-old Pichel. He's lost back-to-back fights. Last time out was against Bonfim almost 11 months ago. 30-27 and handled pretty cleanly. And then on the opposite front, Mark Madsen then, 3 years ago, beat him by a decision. So not a ton of activity. Now he's looking to bounce it back. I mean, that win over Hubbard, I guess, has aged nicely, right? Hubbard's got one win as of recent. Rafa Garcia is going to handle business, dude. Rafa's coming off an L to Grant Dawson, but it's Grant Dawson. Grant's a top contender on the come up. Rafa Garcia's boxing's good. He's in good shape. He'll win key exchanges. Pichel could have some moments. I say 30-27 for Rafa Garcia makes a lot of sense. Just outworks Vinc Pichel. Would it be crazy if it's 29-28? Well, look at the spread, because I know people are going to want me to check that one out. But I'm not crazy about, the 42-year-old Pichel winning the fight. But maybe he's game and gives a tough fight. There's Pichel on the scale. You know what? 42-year-old Savage and an absolutely gnarly tattoo. They look like they just spray painted this tattoo on him in the back from hell right on his biceps, bro. That's terrifying, man. This guy looks crazy with that. It's another thing. Like, if you ain't a fighter and you got from hell on you, I'm expecting you in a prison cell. You know what I'm saying? And let's see. Where's our boy Rafa Garcia? Is he on the other page? Am I missing Rafa? Nah, he's on the other page. I know where he's at. Right at the top, bro. Where's Rafa? Where he is? Look at this fucking young Savage on the come up. 30 years old, coming into his own, Mexican fighter. Looks in phenomenal shape. He's ready to work 3 hard rounds. He wins a unanimous decision. We'll check out the face-off between the two of them. We'll get a vibe for it here. Let's see. A little bit of the size edge for Pichel, which we already knew about. But at 42, I can't see him beating Rafa Garcia. I'd say it'd be a relative shocking outcome. Minus 400 for Rafa. I expect him to win and put a pace on Pichel. Plus 300 for Pichel. Rafa Garcia got some boxing combos. He got a little power, but I would not consider Rafa Garcia a knockout artist. Minus 310 for that over 2.5. And then let's see. Decision win for Garcia sucks at minus 150. If you like the spread, though, if you're thinking, hey, I want to go for the spread side of things, I think Pichel's got a chance to win a round. Okay, if he gets to 29-28, it's plus 130. But personally, I could see a 30-27. I think Rafa just outworks him over a hard-fought 3 rounds and gets a unanimous decision taken home for himself. So we're going with Rafa Garcia for the W in this one. And let's keep moving up. Next fight on the card, we got ladies going after it. Julia Polastri versus Lupita Godinez. I've been picking Lupi Godinez to win throughout the week. I see a hard-fought decision. Polastri's a decent prospect. She's definitely pretty skillful for an up-and-comer, but is she ready for this Lupi level? I have a hard time saying yes. I mean, you look at the last 3. A win over Tabitha Ricci, a loss to Jandaroba, and a loss to Dern, right? Those 3 fights are against the elite caliber of women in the 115-pound top 10. And now we got Julia Polastri, who's got a win last time over Corey McKenna, who they ended up releasing from the UFC. And before that, the loss to Knudsen, who I think also got released from the UFC, which I didn't think made much sense, but is what it is. Polastri did give Knudsen a tough fight. Polastri's a tough customer, and she could give Lupi some difficulty because it's not like Lupi's knocking her out in the first round. I think Lupi could win some key exchanges, put a pace on her. I do expect Lupi to wrestle here, but a lot of times, Lupi's wrestling is not as good as advertised because it's not like a super effective tactic that she has. But I expect her to take home a win on the cards, man. I think Lupi Godinez by a decision makes a lot of sense here, and I think that's the most likely outcome between the ladies. We can see Lupi Godinez. She looks in good shape, is coming in on a bit of short notice, but not super worried about Lupi on short notice. She looks pretty good because also, it was supposed to be Horigi versus Polastri, and Polastri stepped into that fight also on short notice. So kind of like a double short notice spot. There's Polastri. She looks excited to be there for sure. And she looks in halfway decent shape. I mean, she's fit. She's got the look for her. It's just I think she loses the fist fight. I think she gets outworked. Godinez has more high-level experience between the two ladies, and I have to warrant high-level experience into the equation of making the pick. I'll say Lupi by a decision. There's the face-off between the ladies. Solid, intense stare between the two of them. Lupi Godinez winning some key moments, taking some key rounds, and taking a unanimous decision. Minus 230 for Godinez, plus 195 for the side of Polastri. Looking towards an over, most likely at minus 600. Let's see here. Godinez over 2.5 takedowns, minus 150. She might go under on that. It could be plus 110, but I'm not telling you to go play that. Just something I thought. Godinez by a decision, socks, minus 160. You ain't touching it. The Polastri spread, if you think she wins a round, it's minus 145 if Polastri gets 29-28. Does she do such a feat? Does she take a round? Maybe. I mean, I think she's there for all 3 rounds, but I still think that she ends up getting outworked by Lupi Godinez. I feel like the experience has got to pay off for something here with Lupi Godinez. And I'm going to take Lupi on the judges' scorecards. Unanimous decision, beats Julia Polastri in a relatively competitive fight, but Lupi just has a bit more of that savvy veteran experience because of the higher level of opposition. And I do think if she chooses to go to the well of wrestling, which she doesn't always, she could find success. So Lupita Godinez, W. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, Melquizael Costa versus Christian Rodriguez. I have been not only picking Melquizael Costa, I'm savage dog locking Melquizael Costa this week. I love him as an underdog. I think he's going to win this fight. Melquizael Costa has a good striking flow. He has nice Muay Thai. Yes, C-Rod has a pretty crafty kickboxing game, but I think Melquizael Costa could find some success with big kicks to the body here. I also don't think by any means he's a dead man in the boxing range. C-Rod has some combinations, but I wouldn't call him a heavy striker. Melquizael Costa could land even shots inside of the tie clinch in this matchup, elbows on the inside. Now, C-Rod is skillful in his get-up game and his grappling defense, but there is pathways to get him to the floor. Melquizael Costa has very solid jiu-jitsu, and I think this is a tricky stylistic matchup for C-Rod. I think as this fight hits the mat, he can potentially get his back taken and then submitted. We've seen him escape back position in the past, but, you know, there's been fights where C-Rod was handled on the mat here, and I think that Melquizael Costa is very live to not only handle him on the mat, but finish the job on the floor and win this fight by submission. C-Rod is the prospect killer, but he's not fighting really a prospect. He's fighting a veteran prospect in Costa, right? A guy who's going into his 30th pro fight, who's also just a year older than him. I think primed Melquizael Costa is still improving each and every time. I feel like he's coming into his own. He's got a better frame, too, for 145 pounds. I'd say C-Rod on the tad bit undersized side. And I'm going to say that Melquizael Costa is getting his hand raised in this one. I'm going to win live by submission. Of course, you know, the Lock City is on the money line side, but submission is not a bad call by any means. As far as the scales, you can see C-Rod there. Actually, it looks like he had a bit of a weight cut, right? I always felt like he should have been fighting at 35, but he just can't make the damn weight. Can't make the damn weight, but definitely undersized for the weight class above. And then we got Melky Costa on the opposite front. Let's see where he's at. Where's Melky? Where's Melky Costa? Is he gone and we can't find him? Somehow Melky Costa, we don't got. There he is. Melky Costa got the savage shades on. I almost didn't recognize him, bro. He's got the fucking Juno flow. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. He looks ready to rock and roll. Melky Costa for the dub. That's what I see, man. Rocking the classic shades. Got a little swag on him. I feel like the aura is growing each and every fight. And I expect the grappling advantage to definitely show itself in a matchup here. Definitely going to have the size edge, which I think helps his case. Rocking the makeup, which I was horrified with the first time I saw it. But I guess it's for, you know, kids with vitiligo. So it's a nice thing. So shout out Melky Costa for that. I think he's going to win by submission. I think C-Rod puts himself into something. I think Melky Costa's pretty good. And C-Rod's talented too, but I just feel like Melky finds a way to submit him. I'm saying that live for the ghillie, live for the rear naked choke. Fight hits the mat. Submission threat is very real for Melquizael Costa. He's plus 141. I like him as an underdog here. Christian Rodriguez minus 160. Rodriguez normally, you know, a great underdog to play. Now sitting at the favorite status. I think Melky Costa's the live dog. Let's see here. Submission win for Melky. Plus 650 win by submission for Melky. And then Rodriguez by a decision sits at plus 150. Okay, so that's interesting. I am going to pick the side of none other than the one, the only Melquizael Costa to come out with a nice W at the plus money side as the savage dog lock. I feel good about this call, man. I've been feeling great about this call all week, and I love to see Costa look good on the scale. Seems confident. I like the size advantage when I actually got to see him face-to-face. And I really believe that he's going to handle business here against a tough guy in C-Rod and a skillful up-and-comer as well. But I think this is Melquizael Costa's time to shine, chat. Savage dog lock stands tall. with striking flow that I think is effective, body kicks, and not much of a risk of a grappling threat on the other side. Not a huge punch and power threat on the other side. I think Costa can find a way to win this fight. And I'll officially pick him by sub, but of course, the lock is straight down the center on the money line. Let's go. Next fight on the card, we got middleweight savagery. We got Ateba Gautier versus Jose Medina. I've been picking Ateba Gautier all week, as, you know, probably everybody is. The dude's a specimen. You know, there's a handful, actually, of folks that I saw picking Medina from the chat, and I respect you guys chasing the dog, but it's because high elevation. They're like, yo, Gautier, he's got muscles. He's going to gas. Medina's just awful, though. Cameroonian savage Ateba Gautier versus Jose Medina. Give me the Cameroonian savage. Like, the only way he loses is if he gasses out. The dude has a freakish athleticism, good hips and explosiveness, very fast twitch fighter, knockout ability. A lot of things that I like. I want to bring up Gautier on the scale. Where's he at? Where's my boy Gautier at? There's Jose Medina. I guess we're bringing him up first. He looks crazy. Fought at light heavyweight on Contender. Made the middleweight debut in the UFC debut. Lost to Reese, but went 3 hard rounds. But Reese kind of got exposed. I don't think he's that good. Gautier built like a freak. He's Cameroonian like Francis Ngannou. Specimen as far as his punching power goes. Medina's chin is legendary, though. We have to give respect to the durability because, you know, Medina's one of those guys. He can crack, but, you know, actually, can he crack? Maybe he doesn't have huge power, but can take. Gautier built like an absolute fucking freak of nature. Look at the side-by-side. The worry with Gautier is he gasses out. But I do think he has a developing skill set that's going to be enough to handle Medina. I have no doubts about Gautier being better than Medina. It just becomes what happens in round 3. If there is a round 3 and Gautier tries to hunt for the KO and then gasses, Medina would be live to threaten him later in the fight. But I think that the more skilled guy is Gautier. I think he can be tactical. I think he's going to come in pretty damn good shape. The worry is fighting in Mexico City, but I'm going to say Gautier pulls through. I think he gets the win, man. I don't think Gautier is selling against Medina, but I don't think he's a great parlay piece by any means. Minus 450 for Gautier, Medina plus 350. I think, you know, Gautier still on the unproven side, which could be, you know, a tad bit of a worry. Under 1.5 plus 145. Medina's got a good chin, but has he fought a knockout puncher in the UFC? Oh, well, Zach Reese knocked out Julian Marquez. He knocked out the corpse of Julian Marquez. And then, you know, he went distance with Magomed Gaziasulov. Gaziasulov doesn't have power at all. Gautier can crack. But I do think he could end up winning the decision. Using some grappling, getting on top of Medina, winning on the judges' scorecards, and more of a lackluster fight. Not crazy. Gautier on the cards, plus 275. Gautier by KO is minus 155. I wouldn't play it. I don't really love the betting side of this. Medina by sub. He taps out a gas Gautier plus 1,400. I'm going to favor the side of Gautier to win. I think he could end up pulling through on the scorecards. The worry is that Mexico City elevation, for sure. But if Ateba Gautier is calm in this fight, I think he's so much better than Medina. Medina, the most positive thing that I can say about him is, hey, he's a tough customer. Medina's tough. So do I really want to be backing a guy that the whole way I can sell him to you is, hey, he's tough. Hey, he's tough. That's it. Hey, he's tough. Hey, he's tough. He's a tough customer. Outside of that, what is it? Skills? Tell me what skills. Oh, well, he landed a takedown on Zach Reese. Didn't do anything with it. Oh, well, he went 3 rounds. Yeah, he's durable. So we'll see what Gautier's got. Size advantage, power advantage. I think he's even more skillful. The worry is the gas tank. I'm going Gautier, the silent assassin. Come on now. Come on now. The silent assassin for the W. Let's keep running up to the featured prelim of the night. We got Edgar Cháirez versus CJ Vergara. I have been picking Edgar Cháirez. I feel like he handles CJ. I think he's a more powerful striker, more well-versed. CJ's got decent hands, but Cháirez, you know, more dangerous with kicks, I think. Also, better with his straight punches. I feel like Vergara's got some okay hooks, but he's more amateur boxing style. He's not super powerful. He's not super technical. He's decent. He's a gritty dude. He's got wins in the UFC. But I think Edgar Cháirez has more long-term staying power and potential. I think Cháirez could hurt Vergara on the feet, and I think he can submit him on the mat. Cháirez is just simply better overall, and he's more of a physical threat as well. So, got the longer reach, more of a thick back, more width on his back, and I think that helps him in grappling exchanges. And I feel like Edgar Cháirez is going to win here. He's coming off a loss last time to Joshua Van. Van is a sensational up-and-coming prospect. CJ Vergara, 2 down. Temarov's a good prospect, too. Amabayev, decent vet, or, contender, I guess you could call him. But, the win over Salvador, I don't think Salvador is good. Struggled with Lacerda 2 years ago, but came back and won. Cháirez essentially beat Lacerda twice easily. I think Cháirez can win, man. Even threatens Tyra late in their fight with that ghillie. I'm going Edgar Cháirez. I think submission is live here in this matchup. I think you could out-grapple Vergara, and he could land big shots on the feet. Let's find our guy. Let's find Cháirez, man. Where is he at? Is he on the other page? Yeah, I think he is. Bum, 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 bum. We're on the hunt, man. We needed HD quality. I'd rather hunt for the HD quality, chat. CJ Vergara on the scale. CJ looks actually in pretty good shape. He seems absolutely dialed into this fight. And I have no doubts about his truest desire to go out there and win. Is that him right there? No, it's Kevin Borjas with the shaved head. That's crazy. Borjas with the shaved head actually kind of channeling his inner Edgar Cháirez. There's Cháirez on the scale, though, all the way up here. Looks solid, as Cháirez does. I mean, the scale is not something I expect much out of this fight. Not like, yo, look at the difference in build. Holy shit. I will say the terrifying face makeup that was on Cháirez is something to, I don't know, cause a little anxiety on the opposite front. But Vergara looks calm, cool, collected, and confident. I don't know, man. Maybe Cháirez is overcompensating with this scary-ass face makeup, but I think it looks kind of cool. I feel like Cháirez wins the fight. I have a hard time picking Vergara. He's got good boxing combinations and movement, but I don't think that he's going to be able to deal with the physicality of Cháirez. I think Cháirez is a sharper kickboxer. I think Cháirez is a better grappler, and I think that gives him the win here. Minus 265 Cháirez, Vergara plus 225 as the dog. Let's see what else we got. Over 2.5 expected at minus 160. Cháirez to win via submission sits at plus 275. I do think he's live for a sub. Now, my boy Finchmeister, he's calling Vergara. Maybe if you think Vergara takes a round, you can get the spread at plus 105. I mean, could he take a round off of Cháirez? Maybe. Vergara's got good cardio, but I think Cháirez is just a lot more dangerous. I think he's just a lot more damaging, and I think he's just a lot better. He's a lot cleaner and sharper. He should beat Vergara. It would be a pretty solid surprise if Vergara went out and handled Cháirez, I think. I think Cháirez is just more well-versed, more potential. 29 versus 33. I feel like Cháirez is getting better and better each time. I feel like we've kind of seen CJ Vergara at maybe, that peak level. You know what you get with CJ. Cháirez could come through even nastier each and every time. I'm saying Cháirez by sub. Cháirez by sub. I think he can get a finish. Let's jump to the main card opener. We got Ronaldo Rodríguez versus Kevin Borjas. Also, make sure you guys hit the like. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Subscribe. Ronaldo Rodríguez missed weight. Lazy boy living up to his damn nickname. Come on, lazy boy. Why are you missing weight, brother? We need you on weight. We can't have you missing this weight. What is this shit? Comes in a pound over. At least it's only a pound. It's not like he came in 3 pounds over, but still. A pound over is still over. That ain't a good look. I will say this. I think Ronaldo Rodríguez can take Kevin Borjas' best shot, and I do anticipate that he's going to have to deal with some striking on the side of Borjas, because Borjas can kickbox pretty well. He's got some sneaky shots down the center. He's a good overall striker, and he's got a nice length advantage with the arms. But when they get to the mat, I think Rodríguez's jiu-jitsu skills are far superior. I think Rodríguez is going to end up dealing with a little bit of striking from Borjas on the outside. Then I do think he's going to find a way to close the gap, have a little striking success on the inside, but more so look to grapple. And I think he finds success grappling up Borjas on the mat. I'm saying Ronaldo Rodríguez live to take this one home by a submission or decision. As far as the grappling skills, I probably lean decision, though. I feel like Rodríguez outpositions Borjas. And as this fight goes longer, I think Rodríguez can find success. Borjas did show a little vulnerability to leg kicks against Costa. I could see Rodríguez looking to mix in some leg kicks there. Borjas is not bad. To be honest with you, Borjas is gritty, and that's why the odds are close money. I just think Rodríguez a little more well-versed. A little more well-versed. Brings in the threat of the grappling side, which I think could be a big difference maker. There's Ronaldo Rodríguez, who missed weight, and to be honest with you, he looks kind of out of it, man. Looks kind of out of it. What's going on with Ronaldo Rodríguez, man? Didn't look like it was an easy weight cut either. You can see definitely like some flatness to his muscle bellies in, the front half of him. And then on the opposite front, let's find Borjas. A hungry Borjas dreaming of staying in the UFC. To be honest, he had aura. He looks confident. I'm telling you, he looks like Edgar Cháirez a little bit. Like, he looks like Edgar Cháirez is really nice brother. Cháirez looks like the evil villain. He looks like the good one. That's the vibe I get here. But I feel like Ronaldo wins this one. Borjas doesn't have the grappling, man. I don't think he has the grappling. I think he gets taken down. I think there's good striking exchanges. I think Borjas even looks good in moments. But I think when they go to the mat, Rodríguez is better. But Borjas looked good at the face-off, man. He did. And I think he can go a hard 3 rounds. I want to see the spread. I'm waiting for the damn spread. Let's check it out in a sec. Shout out to the Yalanis chat. It tastes fabulous. I'm waiting for the damn spread, man. Borjas looks solid. Minus 163, Rodríguez. Plus 143 for Borjas. Let's see here. Over 2.5, likely at minus 160. I feel like Rodríguez is going to win a gritty decision. Close decision. The spread on Borjas, minus 155. That sucks. I thought it'd be plus money. Yeah, I think the spread of Borjas is live, though. I could definitely see him taking a round. Definitely see him taking a round. Rodríguez, submission or decision, minus 110. Those are probably the likely outcomes here. But if you got a KO, you'll be kicking yourself heavy. Let's see here. Rodríguez wins by split decision, plus 750. It's really not a crazy take. Split decision, I don't think that's wild at all. Rodríguez decision, plus 180. I think he's live for a sub. Fight ends in split majority decision, plus 300. I think we got a competitive fight in store. I'm feeling that split decision Rodríguez wouldn't be crazy at all. I think Borjas can nab around, to be honest with you. His striking's pretty good, but I feel like Borjas has some early success, and then Rodríguez starts to figure him out, get the fight to the ground, wins the second and third. So I'm going lazy boy to win. And maybe the weight miss is the best thing that happened to him, because that extra pound, actually extra 2, right? Because Borjas weighed in at 25. He came in at 27. That could be the little extra oomph that he needs to finish out the third round stronger. And I'll say Ronaldo Rodríguez wins. Next fight on the card, we got David Martinez versus Simon Oliveira. What we're looking at here is essentially a squash match. Okay, Simon Oliveira is a, how do I put this nicely? Shitty striker. Yeah, it's not that nice. He's terrible on the feet. Very awkward and kind of leaves his head there to be hit and just mixes up wild shots. And then his ground skills, His ground skills are not all that, to be honest with you. I mean, he's got some decent jiu-jitsu, but his takedown game is sus. A little wild with his takedown style. Doesn't really have tactical takedowns or just forces them. Martinez, good striking flow. I think that he's going to be able to stay upright on his feet. And Oliveira is inconsistent, bro. Contender Series win 3.5 years ago, right? Then he fights 4 months later, loses to Tony Gravely, and then takes, fucking year off, comes back, fights Daniel Marcos. And that was 2 years and 2 months ago. I thought Simon Oliveira would be cut from the UFC, man. I forgot he existed for a while. And now he's fighting against David Martinez, who has a lot of hype. And his striking is super impressive. And his striking is striking to get damn excited about. I think he's going to have a good flow in the striking department. I think he's going to be dangerous on the feet. I think he can land big shots, punches, and kicks. And I don't think Simon Oliveira has the defense to survive. And he's inactive AF. I think David Martinez is knocking his ass out, man. Bantamweight knockout? Yeah, I think David Martinez is capable of such a feat. I'm going with Martinez to win via violence in this matchup here. Looking at the side of, let's see, Simon Oliveira. Actually, I got to give the man some respect. Dude looks in solid shape, right? Coming in to win. Got a little ink on the face, too. Was he rapping in Brazil? I didn't know about this. I didn't hear about his Brazilian rap career with the face tattoos and shit. He got the Luta Libre tattoo. Listen, Simon Oliveira, he can grapple a bit, but dog, he's a dead man in the striking. He's done for on the stand-up. He got no shot on the feet, man. No. Yeah, I can't foul. If he beats David Martinez, I think that Dana White might cry. I might cry too, because Martinez is being built up as this savage Mexican striker, 26 years old, a lot of knockouts outside of the UFC, beat a good prospect on the Contender Series as well. Yeah, this is the Martinez showcase fight. Let's look at the face-off between the two. Let's see. Let's see a little face-to-face action. What's the energy that's being brought here? Now, to be fair, I think both guys are in fantastic physical condition, but I have to favor the Mexican striker. Now, I will say the height on Simón Oliveira, 5'4", I thought that was wrong. He looks taller than that. Seems like he's an inch taller than Martinez, maybe the same height, unless, I don't know, with the hat, it makes his head look elongated. So maybe a little unsure on the height because of that. But this is the David Martinez showcase fight. Martinez should knock him out. Simón Oliveira does not have the grappling defense, and I don't think Martinez is a bum grappler. Minus 500. Did I say grappling defense or Simón? I meant striking defense. He's got the grappling offense, but not great to get the fights there. Martinez is defensively proficient. Minus 500 Martinez, plus 375 for Simón. Looking towards the side of the knockout win. Let's see. KO win for Martinez, plus 150. I love that they're even giving us plus money because that just has the rumblings of being a quality play. Yeah, Martinez to knock his ass out. That's the official prediction. Fight to end inside distance, minus 150. I think so. David Martinez is violent. I don't think Simón Oliveira has the grappling, or excuse me, the striking. I keep saying grappling. I don't think he has the striking defensive abilities to stay upright on his feet for 3 hard rounds against, pretty clean kickboxing style in Martinez, who showcased power in the past. So the pick is going to be the young, hungry David Martinez to fuck Simón Oliveira up, and I think put him out cold. So I'm excited for that fight. Next fight on the card, we got Raul Rosas Jr. versus Vinc Morales. El Nino Problema. Come on, bro. Crimson Chin W. Actually, we got double Crimson Chins here. Little, Crimson Chin Jr. over here. Rosas Jr. I guess he should be senior because the chin is longer. I think Rosas Jr. is also kind of, immune to getting caught in these front headlocks because of that long-ass chin. It gives him the ability to defend better than most guys. It's hard to get under the neck of him. And his grappling is strong. Vinc Morales does have tricky Darce chokes, Peruvian neckties, guillotines, right? Front headlock position is kind of his flow state. But I don't think he's going to submit Raul. Raul Rosas, strong grappling pressure. I think he's going to be physically stronger than Morales. Way more potential. He's 10-1, 3-fight win streak. I think he wins a unanimous decision. Morales' last fight was in a gritty back-and-forth one with Elijah Smith, who was making his UFC debut. And he went to a close decision, and he was competitive. He had moments, almost got a submission late in the fight. But that's a striker that he's losing to and not able to be effective and finish on the ground there. Now he's going to take out Raul Rosas. Was he going to knock him out? No. What's he going to do? He's going to out-grapple him for 3 rounds? He's going to win a split? I don't think so. I think Rosas handles business. Rosas' grappling proficiency should be a key difference maker. And honestly, if you told me Rosas wins in a striking fight with Vinc Morales, I wouldn't be shocked either. Morales, gritty striker, but not really super skillful, has some combinations, but doesn't really have a lot of pop. Needing this fight in a dominant grappling position against Raul Rosas Jr. just seems like a recipe for disaster. I think Rosas Jr. handles him all 3 rounds. I think 30-27, Raul Rosas dominates Vinc Morales and gets the win. Let's look at the scales here. Vinc Morales always shows up in solid shape, man. I mean, give the guy respect. He's a true professional. He makes weight. He comes in ready to fight, but he is being fed to Raul Rosas to continue the slow ascent upwards for the young Raul Rosas, who's just 20 years old. Rosas looks in good shape per usual. Not much to say there. Looking towards the side of the face-off, though. Let's feel the energy of the face-off. I think Rosas is handling the 34-year-old journeyman. I think Rosas takes it back. Rosas might sub him. I could see a decision, but official pick, I'll say decision. But would it be crazy if Vinc Morales gets locked into a submission here against Raul Rosas? I don't think so. I think Rosas sub threat is live. Looks like he's straight out of fucking Sesame Street, does Rosas Jr., which is, I think, a strength, though. I think a strength. You know what I'm saying? It's that ugly man strength. You gotta know how to fight, bro, And I feel like he's going to handle the journeyman. Gritty journeyman, but outmatched and kind of in a bad matchup. Like, I would have thought Morales would have had a better chance with a kickboxer like Elijah Smith, who he has a little wrestling, but isn't known for dominant grappling, whereas Rosas is known for dominant grappling. Odds are wide. Ooh, I hate that. Minus 500, Raul Rosas as a chalky-ass favorite. Plus 385 for Vince Morales. Listen, guys, lay the chalk. I think it's still live. You know, I'm not telling you to lay the chalk, actually. You know what I'm saying? Don't bet the money line. You know, parlay it maybe, but minus 500 shit. How does Rosas win this thing? Unanimous decision. Does he get over 3.5 takedowns? I feel like under. That's why it's minus 165. Rosas by a decision at plus 115. Submission would be pretty wild. Plus 250 for the sub. I'm not even telling the spread, but plus 125. I'll tell you the line for it. I'm not telling you to do the spread. I feel like Raul Rosas is going to out-grapple Vince Morales. I think he lands some takedowns, has some success on the mat. I don't think he's going to get dog-walked into striking by any means. And I feel like Raul Rosas to a dominant W in this one. Unanimous decision. Outworks Vince Morales, out-grapples him. The prospect train keeps on moving for Raul Rosas as they give him another layup. Let's be honest, right? Morales last time out fought a debuting guy, and now, you know, Rosas Jr. on a 3-fight win streak, getting a guy in a 2-fight losing streak. That's a setup fight. Rosas Jr. for the win. Next fight, we got the featured bout of the night. We got Kelvin Gastelum versus Joe Pyfer. I've been picking Joe Pyfer all week. And I heard he's been sleeping in that hyperbaric chamber or hyperbolic chamber. I'm sorry if I'm botching it, but either or. I think that his grappling skill could be a factor in this matchup because I don't think Gastelum's dragging him down. So, like, Pyfer's gas tank, that's really what I'm getting at, I think is going to be prepared for wherever the fight takes place. Striking-wise, Pyfer is a much bigger puncher, and he's just a bigger individual. As far as on the ground, Joe Pyfer's got pretty legit jiu-jitsu. He also, has probably got to have some confidence from his boy Sean Brady subbing up Gastelum and dominating him at 170. I feel like if they hit the mat, Pyfer's going to be more effective and better. As far as the striking, Pyfer's a guy that does want the knockout, and he absolutely can crack, but you're looking at like a legendary chin in Kelvin Gastelum. The dude has been eating bombs for years and years on years. His head is just made out of fucking concrete. Could Pyfer be the one that cracks that chin? That's the question everybody wants answered. I feel like Pyfer could win by sub or decision. I think Gastelum could eat Pyfer's best punch, and then maybe the fight, sways to maybe Gastelum trying to wrestle a bit, Pyfer countering, getting on top. It won't surprise me if there's grappling in this fight. It won't surprise me if Joe Pyfer is the one winning the grappling between the two. As far as the boxing, I mean, at one point, Gastelum had that nasty southpaw straight left. And, I mean, he was doing good on the feet in a lot of fights in the past. But, I think he slowed down. He looked real bad against D-Rod, even though he won. He needed the grappling in that one to get the win. And, if you're getting kind of outboxed by D-Rod at 85, even though it was initially scheduled for 70, Gastelum couldn't get down to 70. I think Joe Pyfer does damage on the feet. He's going to hit Gastelum a lot. It's just, is Gastelum's chin ever going to fault? So far, so good. So far, Gastelum's chin has been as solid as it gets. Saw him dropped by Adesanya in the damn, 5th round in a back-and-forth war, but he was still live against Izzy the whole time. But that also tells me how many wars Gastelum been in. It's Pyfer time now, and I think Joe Pyfer wins. I'm feeling like unanimous decision, which I know for some that's a crazy take because it's like Pyfer knockout or bust, but I think he can get it on the cards. Let's look at Kelvin Gastelum. Nacho! He actually looks decent on the scale. I mean, Kelvin's never going to have that fucking chiseled physique, man. Him and nutritionists, they just don't work well together. If you're telling Kelvin Gastelum on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, he can't go get himself some fucking quality burritos, you know what I'm saying? A little food truck taco and shit like that, then I don't think Kelvin Gastelum is Kelvin. You understand? This is just who he is. Regardless, at 85, it's all right. He can eat whatever he wants, but he ain't never making 170. And he said himself, we're sticking to 85, which honestly, good move. I don't even know why he was trying to get back down to 70 because he knows he likes to eat. Pyfer just a naturally bigger individual. There's Joe Pyfer. We're calling him Pasty Pyfer. Looks like a damn ghost. I don't think he's putting Gastelum's lights out, though. And, the worry would be, what happens if Gastelum is alive in the third? My brother told me he's picking Gastelum. And, if you follow the channel long enough, he's got a few mythical picks over the years. But I think Joe Pyfer is going to show him levels to, this modern era, right? An aging Gastelum versus a young, hungry Pyfer. I think Pyfer wins some key exchanges between the two. Maybe lands on top of Gastelum at some point. I say Pyfer decision. Won't shock me. Maybe if he gets a sub and he showcases those ground skills. The knockout would surprise me, regardless of how much power Pyfer is said to have. Anybody that puts Gastelum on his ass and puts him out, I will be fucking shocked. Minus 285 for Joe Pyfer. Gastelum plus 225. Big underdog status for KG. Not a surprise, seeing that he hasn't looked good really in a while. And I think Joe Pyfer is coming into his own, and even had good, second and first round against Jack Hermanson. Over is minus 140, so it is expected to go over. Let's see. Pyfer to win via decision plus 175. KO plus 250. Submission plus 285, even plus 400. Wow. Less likely on the sub. I don't know. I feel like Pyfer cracking Gastelum with some big shots, finding his way on top of him at some point, and, going the full 3 rounds and showing good cardio in Mexico City. That will be huge for Pyfer. That will be huge for Pyfer. I think he'll be good. I think the stamina is going to last him. You guys might be like, yo, AJ, you get nervous? Nah, I'm not getting nervous. I'm just taking a sip of water, man. I'm not getting nervous. What are you talking about getting nervous? I'm not nervous. Body bags Pyfer to bag a decision against thick-bodied Kelvin Gastelum. That's the prediction. I'm going with the chalky favorite. I think Pyfer, too explosive, too clean, too primed, and I think Kelvin Gastelum's over the hill. When he was in his prime, it's a different conversation, but today, I think Joe Pyfer outworks him. He's hungrier. I mean, maybe he's not hungrier than Kelvin Gastelum as far as eating food, but as far as getting to the top of the damn middleweight division, I know Joe Pyfer got more drive. I don't even want to use the word hunger around Kelvin Gastelum, I'm just glad that he made weight. I thought he might come in at 200 for this fucking middleweight fight at this rate. We're going body bags Pyfer to take out, thick boy Kelvin Gastelum in Mexico City. Pyfer for the W. Next fight on the card, co-main event, we got Manuel Torres versus Drew Dober. I have been picking Drew Dober throughout the week, and my God, flip a fucking coin is how I feel about this one, and that's the most honest breakdown. Drew Dober does have good striking flow. He has knockout power. He's got a really good chin. Now, he's not a super proficient like kickboxer from long range where he's going to pick you apart. No, he's going to hit you with thudding punches, and he's going to hit you with nasty leg kicks. The problem is he eats a fuckload of shots. Manuel Torres is a nasty finisher. He's got gnarly elbows, good explosiveness on the feet, even has some tricky grappling. What I hated about the Ignacio Bahamondes fight, though, it made me question everything around Manuel Torres' fight IQ and adaptability. He ate a big shot from Bahamondes, went down, and instead of calming himself, right, and trying to find his flow state again and readjusting the plan, he just attempted to blitz Ignacio Bahamondes. How can you really blame him, right? Every time he strikes, he's putting people to bed, and he eventually finds his shot. Against Bahamondes, it didn't happen. He didn't have the setup game to deliver any violent strikes to Bahamondes, and he ends up looking like a fucking schmuck getting knocked out in the first round. And that dropped his hype, kind of a substantial margin. And now you put him against Drew Dober. Dober coming off, cut stoppage in a war with Gene Silva, but he was getting fucked up, but he showed a good chin still. Fight before that, he did some damage on the feet to Money Moicano, but got out grappled in that one. And then the fight before that had the win against Ricky Glenn. But what the fuck are we talking about? It's Ricky Glenn. I think that Drew Dober could be live to crack Manuel Torres. Torres does not seem to have the Mexican chin of some of his fellow countrymen, He seems to have more of the average chin, takes more of an average punch, and falls like, a non-Mexican would. And I think Drew Dober can absolutely crack him with big shots. And I worry Manuel Torres' only chance is chaos factor. And what happens when Drew Dober cracks him in that chaos and Manuel Torres doesn't have any setups to get Dober out of there? I think Manuel Torres might get knocked out again. Bad knockout loss at UFC 300, or excuse me, at UFC 306, Noche UFC. Bad knockout loss. Fucked up bad in that fight. And that dropped my confidence on Torres substantially because I don't know if the guy has any adaptability. Now, he showed up in good shape. Saw him training with Daniel Zellhuber. There's the physique. Manuel Torres looks good. He looks good. He looks well-conditioned. But he's fighting the block-headed Drew Dober. Normally, Drew Dober's chin is legendary. I know. Frivola put him down and out, but that was a while back. And that's kind of a, rare feat, putting him down and out. You can put Drew Dober down. We've seen him down, but he does have good comeback ability. That's like a big difference between the two. We've seen Dober come back from adversity and find violent finishes. Manuel Torres has, a bit of trouble in a fight against Ignacio. True trouble. I know he got caught by Chris Duncan, but true trouble. And what changes? Just chaos flow. Let me just go wild. Not even flow, just chaotic tornadoing of strikes and then getting knocked out. What happens when Drew Dober cracks him with a big shot? And then Manuel Torres just tries to blitz him and then gets caught again. I think this fight ends in violence for sure. I think it's going to be one of the more wild fights on the card. I think it's an amazing co-main event. Both guys look in great shape and super excited to share the octagon with one another. Dober is fucking jacked. Torres in great physical condition, but Dober, he's got the fucking jacked build on him, man. The cap delts and shit. I think Dober can land some heavies and shock Manuel Torres. And if things go awry for Torres, I have question marks around what he can do. I mean, we never seen him outside of the first round in the UFC either. He's Mr. One-Rounder bust, and I just can't have faith in Mr. One-Rounder. Minus 105, Dober, the ever so slight dog. Torres, minus 115. The line's been flipping all damn week. What'd the line open at? What'd the line open at for the true Chad? Minus 125 Dober. Okay, so it's plus money side for Manuel Torres. I'm going with the authentic Crimson Chin for the W. The over is plus 170. I mean, it feels like this fight has an end early feel. I mean, under 2.5 seems like a lock at minus 485. Fight ending in a KO is minus 235. Most likely it's KO, TKO, or DQ. Dober by KO plus 140. What's this fight ends in round 1? Does that exist? Or do I have to pick who wins it? Manuel Torres for the 3.5, minus 135. Dober, if he makes it close, plus 105. I would just rather money line it. I really don't think this fight goes distance. This fight going distance would be wild. Fight doesn't start round 2, minus 115. So fight to end in round 1 is minus 115 here. It's got the makings of a fight that ends quick. Torres with the lack of adaptability, though, if Dober, which very rare that he decides this, but if Dober decides to take a chill pill and say, okay, I'll deal with the chaos early, but this guy ain't proven to go long. Second and third round, Dober could have great success. I'm going to say Drew Dober gets his hand raised by a TKO. I question Manuel Torres' fight IQ very substantially. It's a 50-50 fight. That's why the odds are even here, but I think Dober could land a big shot and put Loco Torres out. And maybe Loco Torres is a bit of a fraud, man. The one big fight he had, he got killed in round 1. Other wins, Chris Duncan's all right. He got caught, then he pulled off the sub. That was nice. Nicholas Mota is a gritty journey, man. He's tough. Frank Camacho's no longer in the UFC. England, this is a contender series fight. Torres is impressive, and he's violent, and he gets things done quick, but that quick get in and out style could definitely get him caught with big shots against Dober. And then what happens if we get into the later stages? In the UFC, we ain't seen him in round 2, and I don't know what he's got in round 2. I'll say Dober for the W and a knockout win. Let's jump to the main event. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you hit the likes. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We got Brandon Moreno versus Steve Erceg. The pick throughout the week has been Brandon Moreno. I felt that Moreno can win some key striking exchanges while also mixing in grappling against Steve Erceg. Steve Erceg is a pretty tactical striker. He's got decent boxing / kickboxing. Also has not bad wrestling either. Gave Alexandre Pantoja an absolutely great run for his money. And I actually was thinking Erceg might have had a chance to pull through on the judges' scorecards by the end of it. But ultimately, Pantoja wins. Now, Erceg looks sensational there, and his hype is at an all-time high. Comes in, he was the number 10 ranked guy in the world and had like a one-hit wonder type performance. Follows that up with a first-round knockout loss to Kai Kara-France. Quick, light, speed knockout, round number 1. It was a bad look. Brandon Moreno last time looked as good, if not better, than I've ever seen him, looking sensational over 5 rounds with Amir Albazi. One red flag around it that everybody keeps throwing in my face all week is, oh, well, Albazi had the neck injury. That wasn't 100% Albazi. Albazi, he's not even that good. He's overrated. He should have lost to Kai by decision. True, he still went 5, though. Erceg went down and 1. Brandon Moreno can box. He's got solid Mexican boxing, good combinations in close, good volume, striking flow, good multi-shot combos. I think he can land big shots on Steve Erceg. I think Erceg could definitely fire back. Erceg can catch him with some kicks on the outside, to the body especially. But I do think Erceg can get taken down. I'm seeing Erceg taken down by Moreno, and Moreno having some success grappling, can showcase some strong control on the mat. I think he's physically stronger. He's definitely the better wrestler between the two. I'm saying that Brandon Moreno is very live to win in a 5-round back and forth type of fight. Now, Steve Erceg, listen, he's just looking like he's chilling. He just took some orders, from the Geek Squad at Best Buy that called him. They called him before the weigh-ins. Listen, Steve, when you get back, we got to have you working double shifts. You know what I'm saying? You're working late, bro. We got computers that need repairing and shit. So that's why he was kind of unenthusiastic at the weigh-ins. But this is just how it goes. Steve Erceg looks solid, though. Give him some respect. He's got Erceg aura. And listen, I was one of the early Erceg's witnesses, but I just don't feel like he's handling the former champion and Brandon Moreno. Moreno with the new ink looking good on the scales. I'm telling you, this could be Moreno 2.0. We might be looking at the best Brandon Moreno ever. He's still young. He's still young. He's been in some wars, but it's not like he's taking crazy, crazy damage. Now, Erceg looks like a fucking Chad from the side over here. Goes from the Geek Squad to the Savage Squad in the snap of her fingers. A little bit of size advantage over Moreno, which is, you know, an interesting aspect of the fight, right? Erceg with the boxing from the outside. How much success can he find? Moreno should be a little faster. I do think it's going to be a good fight. I don't think Erceg's getting dog walked. I think he's getting outworked, and I think he's getting beat. But there's Steve Erceg looking in good shape. I got to give respect where he's due. When I saw this weigh-in, I said to myself, damn, Erceg looks fucking ready, man. More ready than I anticipated even. Erceg's got, I don't know, more muscle than before. Am I crazy for thinking he's the best physique I've ever seen from Steve? He's got the fucking delts coming in and shit. Looks kind of jacked here. Skinny Steve Erceg putting on a bit of muscle too. And he's only 29. I don't know. I took like a light hit in my confidence on Moreno. I don't know why. The Erceg's witness in me is like, you going against us? I am, though. I feel like Moreno can find success over 5 hard rounds. Mixing his striking attack up, mixing grappling in. I think that Erceg is going to give him some trouble in certain aspects of the game and will probably win a round or two. But I do think Moreno's going to finish the fight strong and take it home by unanimous decision. Going to be interesting because it's Mexico City for Erceg. Normally the gas tank's fantastic. But, you know, 5 hard rounds, Mexico City, the elevation is crazy. Moreno at minus 250, Erceg at plus 210. Man, I think that Brandon Moreno wins a competitive one. Over 4.5 is minus 240. I think we're going over 4.5. I like this fight going distance, minus 215. Let's see here. Moreno by a decision is plus 120. Erceg decision plus 250. Let's see. A little spread action on Erceg if he can make it close. Minus 135. Okay. Okay, maybe. Possibility. I feel like Brandon Moreno, more than likely decision, especially seeing the size of Erceg at the actual face-off. Like, I think he can find some success, and I feel like he defensively could grapple well. I'm hesitant on that, like, oh, Moreno can pull off the sub side or TKO him. Because the way I look at Erceg is a relatively well-versed guy. It's just I think Moreno can have success with his punches and kicks. I think the leg kicks could be a factor. I do think Erceg fires good shots back at him. I think Moreno times the key takedowns as the better wrestler. Ultimately, I think the truest difference maker, if this fight ends up being a relatively close fight, the ultimate difference maker between the two will be takedown ability, which I favor Moreno. I'll be hard-pressed to believe that Steve Erceg out-wrestles Brandon Moreno. And on the opposite side, Moreno out-wrestling Erceg doesn't seem like a massive surprise to me. Erceg finding some strikes on the feet, Moreno firing shots back, mixing in a bit of wrestling, finding success there, winning key moments in a competitive 5-rounder, taking it on the judges' scorecards. I'll say Brandon Moreno by competitive decision win. I'm saying they're going all 5 rounds. I really felt that today, that they're going all 5. I think it's going to be a close fight. I think it's going to be a dog fight. I don't think you're crazy if you're going Erceg spread. Erceg to win in Mexico City by a decision and a close one with Moreno. We've seen crazy shit happen. Erceg look good. I'm not telling you you're a wild card for going Erceg. It's not an absolute no, but I think Moreno wins. But I will say, after the weigh-ins, I felt some Erceg's witness coming out of me that I just couldn't control. I was like whispering, you know Steve Erceg. He's well-versed. He gave Pantoja a run for his money. But I'm picking Brandon Moreno. There's no pick flip in me. I'm trusting the tape. I'm trusting Moreno to pull through in a competitive fight. I think he beats Erceg by enough and gets the win. It's just going to be sad to see my boy Erceg lose 3 in a fucking row, man. But yeah, I think Moreno can keep the clock turned back. He's only 31. He's absolutely still primed. On the opposite side, Erceg prime 2 at 29. Good fight. Steve Erceg getting big fight after big fight after big fight in a huge chance here in Mexico City against Moreno. But ultimately, I think he fails the big test against Moreno and loses in competitive fashion. But I do think Erceg can get back on track with some wins. He's definitely a top 10 guy. It's just Moreno, to me, seems like a rough matchup, and he ends up losing a competitive one. Brandon Moreno at home, Mexico City for the W. Getting it done is going to be the prediction. Now, those are my picks for this UFC Mexico City card, but we're not done yet. I want to check the parlay. So I have a slew of them that I had earlier in the week, and I'm looking at them now, and I'm like, okay, what things worry me? What things could be changed? And I'll come up with a post-weigh-in parlay. But I'm not going to stray away from the tape telling me all these are live. But I will give credit to the scales for some things. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, what's a little degen savagery that I can mix up that's different? So I cooked up this one for you guys that I have on the screen right here. All right, Miranda, García. The over is in the Lupi fight with Polastri and Rosas Jr. Plus 759. I got a good feeling that this one's coming to fruition. I do. I think there's a real high probability of success here. Now, I also wanted to drop a little prop play for the Savages, okay? So, David Martinez to win via KO. That seems very likely to me. Markel Mederos to win by a decision. That seems rather likely to me. Those two together, plus 709. I like to call it plus 709. I like the chances of such a feat. Now, if you're with Melquizio Costa, Savage Dog locking it with me live on the show, plus 5,964. Costa sub, Hubbard decision. Did I go Hubbard decision? Oh my God, that fucked me up. I was like, damn, this line's better than I thought it was. It's like, damn, this line's great. It's Mederos decision. Or if Hubbard and Mederos both win by decisions, my God, you'll be cashing big. Plus 4,163. Is that the same one that I got there? Costa sub, Martinez KO, Mederos decision, and the Miranda sub round one at plus 53,000. Yeah, it's the same one. So what I'm telling you is I still feel good about this one. Now, for those that don't want to go the Savage Dog Lock submission call, you take them off. You still got good plus money for the other two props, which I think probably have a damn good chance of coming through and hitting. I feel it. I can feel it in my bones. I don't want to do too many on-the-fly parlays because, you know, with the dog fights that are in store, it's a good way to fucking, you know, let the post weigh-in get in your head, which sometimes is not the move, you know what I'm saying? But Markel Mederos and Raul Rosas, I do think both of these guys win. Plus 101 as a little alternate action parlays if you didn't like any of the close money ones that you see on the screen. I do also think Rafa García live to win, plus 149 if you brought those three together. And if you're like, fuck it, put me Melky now, plus 497. There you go. Little degen savagery, man. But yeah, Melky Costa, Savage Dog Lock. I think you can mix them into some of your parlays for the plus money side to come in heavier. I'm liking the calls this week. I hope you guys are too. Much love to my people. I appreciate everybody watching. Make sure you smash the likes on your way out and hit subscribe if you're new. Daily content. So turn the post notifications on. You don't want to miss a video or live stream. You can catch me here covering the UFC every single day of the week. Live stream going down for this full card. Do not miss it. Let me know what you thought of the picks in the comments. Do you guys got any pick flips? Any magical pick flips from the people? Let me know down below. And if you got nothing to say in the comments, but you just enjoy the content as always, W in the chat to boost the algorithm for your boy. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you all on the next one. Peace out.